Now remember, this foreclosure freeze earlier this fall, well, the trouble may not be over. The Congressional Oversight Panel warned of further consequences for the banks and homeowners because of improper documentation. Well, joining us right now from Washington is Ted Kaufman. He's the head of that panel, who became a former Delaware senator just yesterday when Chris Coons was sworn in. But Senator Kaufman, great to have you here this morning on In the Loop. Let me ask you, have things gotten any better since Congress started looking into this issue?
Well, basically what we have to do is we're very concerned about the fact that, as you all read in the papers, thousands of documents were signed without people even know what was in them, called robo-signing. And there's a number of concerns we have regarding that. One is the basic concern of due process, to make sure every American is getting a due process in their mortgage and in handling a mortgage. Second was the whole financial stability. You know, could this in fact be a major problem for the banks and for the financial system, and by this and also by the securitization? And third is our concern about the Treasury has a major home modification program. What are the impact on that? So that's really why we did this report.
How do you think this is going to play out? And I bring this up because yesterday we were talking about a story, Bloomberg News reporting about one robo-signer who signed 5,000 documents a day, 5,000 signatures. I mean, how can there not have been a potential problem and potentially a big problem in your view?
Yeah, no, I think that is, and that's really what is concerned. So what we did is we told Treasury, look, we really want you to monitor this. Phyllis Caldwell was at a hearing that we had last week and talked about the fact that Treasury's interested, but we wanted to monitor it. We want them to think about serious stress tests, taking this into account. We want to see what the implications, Treasury look into the implications on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. We also, could this cause people's concern about the whole housing market, which has got to turn around and get us going. And finally, we're concerned about just the due process again to make sure that people are being treated fairly.
Now, Senator Kaufman, I mean, the Treasury Department has basically suggested that the robo-signing problem does not currently pose any kind of threat to the financial system. You guys say that's premature. I mean, you don't trust the Treasury and their assessment here?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we trust the Treasury. But again, we have a different role to play. This is a Congressional Oversight Panel. There's three branches of government, as we all know, and one of the main things that Congress does is have oversight of the agencies. So our job is to go in there and oversight and make suggestions and ask questions and probe, just like every oversight committee, and that's basically what we're doing. It's not that we don't trust Treasury. It's just these are the things that we think Treasury should do moving forward, and that's why we've written this report, which is a very, very complex issue. But that's why we've written this report, laying out what we think the problems are and also offering suggestions of where we think Treasury can go from here.
You lay out a best and worst case scenario in this report. Right. The worst is that we could eventually see maybe another taxpayer bailout because all of the banks have to write down a lot of loans. How likely is that that happens in your view?
Well, I don't know whether taxpayer bailout. That's really way down the road. And frankly, the Dodd-Frank bill has in it provisions for resolution. But that is a possibility. And remember, Carol, if there's a very small possibility if something happens, but if it happens, it's very, very bad, it's something you should really take seriously. And that's really what we're saying. We're saying that this is an area that we've got to check into.
We got to run. Senator Kaufman, thank you so much for our time.